Former Prime Minister P. Chidambaram has been sent to judicial custody till the 13th of November in the INX Media money laundering case here. We have with us Deputy News Editor Meenakshi Bhanja getting us those inputs here. Meenakshi, this is of course on health grounds which was asked for, that has been rejected, the custody further extended.
As far as how the special court, Rouse Avenue, which is seized of Mr. Chidambaram's plea, has gone ahead and extended the judicial custody. Remember, this is a relaxation form of custody from the earlier police custody, which he was in the midst of. But the court has gone ahead and extended Mr. P. Chidambaram's judicial custody up till the 13th of November. And in another disparate plea that he has filed before the Honorable Delhi High Court, a different judicial forum, he is seeking an interim bail till the 4th of November on health grounds. Of course, the health grounds have emerged in the past as well, when there was heated exchanges as to how he should be allowed to travel to Hyderabad, which the special court, a disparate forum or a lower court as compared to the High Court, had gone ahead and rejected. Instead, it had said that AIIMS has all the requisite facilities to treat Mr. Chidambaram, where our viewers will recall he had been taken for medical evaluation as well in the recent past. But that apart, two separate things have happened. Before the special court, Rouse Avenue, his judicial custody has got extended. In the meantime, he has approached the Delhi High Court seeking interim bail on health grounds till at least the 4th of November.
Okay, Meenakshi, thanks for getting us those inputs. In the top focus on the big story today, 5 p.m. This is regarding the plight of depositors that are hit by the 4,000 crore rupees PMC Bank scam. And they've hit the road again in yet another protest today. This after RBI officials yesterday had failed to provide them any assurance that their money is safe. The RBI officials had informed the depositors that infusion of the 4,000 crore rupees as a stopgap arrangement is not workable, not possible. The depositors were further told that an evaluation of the accused properties is underway. The audit report would be out in 2 to 3 weeks. It is a huge task. It is a tall order in asking for people to keep patience for weeks when they've been begging for their own money for the past month and a half, 38 days and counting. Depositors are still only allowed to withdraw 40,000 rupees for a span of 6 months. Today we're asking, who will help them? Who will help these innocent PMC depositors? Let's get in further details. Our correspondent Apeksha with further inputs here on this, who's been speaking with depositors through the day, through the past several weeks, and all of these string of protests here. Apeksha, today was another round of protest, but to no avail. They have gotten in several assurances from top authorities, but nothing's working on ground.
That's absolutely right, Seher. In fact, for the last 38 days, we're seeing every day these depositors hit the streets of Mumbai. Sometimes it's the Chief Minister's residence, sometimes it is the RBI office. And today we saw it was at Azad Maidan. Now, this was a clarion call for all depositors today to come out at Azad Maidan. Now, there were people who had come from various branches across the city, even the outskirts, as far as Panvel and Airoli. Now, the one primary demand remains, Seher, is that they want assurance from the RBI that their money is safe with the PMC Bank, and that is something that they have not been able to get. Now, in fact, even yesterday, when they were protesting outside the RBI office, a delegation of these depositors went inside. They spoke to the officials, and the RBI officials clearly said that at this point, we cannot give you any sort of assurance that your money is safe. However, they have said they need at least 2 to 3 weeks of time for the audit report to come out, the evaluation of the assets to be done, and only then will they be able to be in a better position to tell the depositors whether their money is safe or not, whether the properties that have been seized, will it actually help in giving back the depositors their money. Now, we've also seen BJP leaders, Congress leaders, come in and try and help out these depositors. Yesterday, Kirit Somaiya had a very long conversation with the officials where he came out and he told the depositors that they do have a plan of action for the next in the next 2 to 3 days, he is going to go and meet the finance minister, and they are working on a merger plan. They have sent out invites to other banks to come and merge with PMC, pump in some money. In fact, the RBI has also said that they are just a regulatory body, and it's not in their hands to infuse any amount of money. That has to come from the government. So there, despite 38
Okay.
days of massive protests
Right.
by the depositors, no real relief coming
Yes.
in for them, Seher.
Absolutely. Relief, workable relief on ground. They need to know that their money is safe. They need to have more access to their money. Let's get in a word here from the BJP. Ms. Shaina NC with us over the phone line. Shaina, thanks for being with us. We have heard multiple voices in the past here. The finance minister had said that she would look into this directly with the RBI. The chief minister in the election season here a few weeks ago had said that they will look at working this out and auctioning off properties of the accusers that have been attached in this case. Various authorities, heads have spoken out with multiple assurances, but nothing is working on ground. This is extremely unfortunate. This is painful. And now the depositors say this is inhuman because they don't have access to their own money for medicines and medical bills.
Let me please say I understand the predicament of the victims completely. It is no fault of theirs. Whether it is Kirit Somaya who registered the FIR and has been following up consistently on behalf of the party, or Devendra Fadnavis's statement saying that yes, the assets that have been frozen by the EOW will be liquidated at the earliest and the monies will go to the victims, or for that matter, Nirmala Sitharamanji as the finance minister who has said on multiple occasions that the RBI will be in coordination with the finance ministry trying to make sure that the people get back their money. I think there are 2-3 takeaways. One, that the victims will get their money. Second, that legislation that needs to come about in particular cases where there is wrongdoing by willful defaulters, whether there needs to be a corrective amendment, vis-a-vis what the guidelines for cooperative banks should be, how it should come under the gamut of finance ministry, needs to come up in Parliament at the earliest, which is going to be the endeavour of the government. But having said that, I think fear of law is only one punishment. Right now, the only relief for the victims can be them getting back their money, for which we are working towards. But it's not a magic wand. It will take its own time.
It's not a magic wand, but they want their money back as suddenly as it was taken away from them unfairly. All of the measures that you've listed is time consuming, depending on the pace of investigations and what really works out on ground. Let's get in a word. And Shaina, I would like you to listen to this here, please. We have one of the depositors with us over the phone line, Mr. Karan Singh. Many thanks for being with us, Karan. In your view, is there something that the authorities are not being able to understand? That today it is a crisis in your life and they're not getting it. They're not getting the urgency of it.
Absolutely, because it's been almost 36 days now, and we've been crying our lungs out that there's no fault of ours that something like this has happened, and there's nobody willing to listen to us. We've been outside the RBI yesterday. We were there the whole day. Okay, there were ladies and old men who were sitting in the sun the entire day just to get their own money. It's become like it's a horror thing for us. You can't even imagine the plight we are going through, all of us. And there is, again, why I don't understand.
That's right.
And there is no assurance from the government. And by government, I'm talking about the higher authorities that, if, like somebody like a film actor dies, okay, there is a condolence tweet out by our Prime Minister. But, 6 of my people have died, the depositors, and not a single word for the scam from, from the higher authorities. As in what? Are we living in the same country or what? Why are we being given such, horrible treatment? I fail to understand this.
Right. Karan, what's the sense that you get? Because respective authorities have only been giving out assurances, not really working on a real solution here. Uh, there is the clear fear that the money is not there. It's been eaten up and it's not there.
Every single day, passes by, we are, all the more, getting insecure about the money that, our hard-earned money. Because, it has just, there has been nothing, no word, nothing, no assurances. RBI is not, they say that, it's not in our hands. All the procedures are on and everything. No, there is somebody who has to undergo a surgery that costs around 5 lakh rupees. The emergency money that, can be given for to them, I think, is around 50,000 rupees. So, and hospitals don't, they need the entire money before, and at least they have on 75% deposit before they, even start any procedure. Now, where does this person, get the money from? People are dying for their own money. I seriously fail to understand if China is there. China, we need answers. I spoken to you almost 20, 25 days back, and you said you'll be speaking with the finance minister, and something will be worked out very soon.
Okay.
But that also was a false promise. Nothing happened.
Shaina, and whatever you've assured, and other voices, senior voices such as the finance minister who said who's going to be taking this up with the RBI, the chief minister saying a quick solution would be worked out. All of this is turning out to be extremely time consuming. I understand when you say that there is no magic wand to fix this, but it is rightful for them to have access to their own money. If it was taken away so suddenly, it needs to be returned as suddenly.
Well, I completely agree with you, and I do understand the anxiety, but it's not as if we have not. For example, when Nirmala Sitharaman ji came to Mumbai, we ensured that she meet with the depositors, and she did. And she said that she was going to coordinate with the finance ministry and the RBI and come up with a conclusive solution. Having said that, we do know that there were elections. Obviously, now the elections are over, and the state government will be in a position to pursue this with the finance ministry, and we will do whatever it takes. As I said, if you are expecting a promise from me particularly, I am way too junior. It's higher authorities that have to come up with a solution for the depositors. The long-term solution has to be amendment in Parliament so that nobody goes through this kind of a case. We know the EOW has registered FIRs, and these assets have been that have been frozen.
Okay. Well, Shaina, please stay with us. Let's also get in a word here from a banking expert on how quickly can this really be fixed. Should it really be taking that long? Mr. Thomas Franco with us over the phone line. Appreciate you being with us. In your view, what is causing the delay to show some workable action? So far, there's only been talk of exercising various options, various possibilities, but no real action.
That is the problem. No decision is being taken, no action except appointing some retired CGM as administrator there. That is not going to solve the problem. So the only way is that immediately this bank should be taken over by another bank. That will build up the confidence which has happened in the case
of Mr. Franco, how long will that process take? Because even a decision on that has still not been taken. It's being so difficult even to just take a decision on that.
It is up to the RBI. RBI can take a decision in its board overnight. It doesn't require so much of time. They have done it in earlier cases, Bank of Tanjavur, Bank of Cochin, Bank of Tamil Nadu, and also in the case of Oriental Bank of Commerce. So many times Reserve Bank has intervened and taken a decision so quickly.
Right. So, Mr. Franco, what you say is when you have the RBI turning back the depositors, saying that we can't do anything right now, is the RBI then lying? Is it not taking into account the powers it has in its own hands to somehow fix this with urgency?
Definitely, RBI has enough of power. They are not exercising that power. That is, the government has to intervene and they have to force RBI to. They have to advise RBI to take a quick action. They have all the powers. It is not that they don't have power.
And what is causing this delay? What is stopping the RBI, in your view, from taking this action? Does the RBI not care? Is there not enough money in the system to be taking this kind of decision? What is stopping them?
See, RBI may not be having adequate funds after this resource were transferred, but they can definitely ask another bank to take over this bank, which they have done earlier. That does not require any fresh funding to be given by the RBI. There are banks which are capable of taking over this bank and turning it around, which has happened in the past many times. At least 20 cases have happened after 1969. But this time somehow they want some banks to get closed. I think probably they are following those recommendations of the Narasimham Committee, which had said some small banks can be allowed to die. That is not correct, because this is a big bank, 13 crore depositors, I think, and that is going to have ripple effects.
Mr. Karan, if you heard that, how does this exactly make you feel? It's a very tragic scenario here when you have a banking expert such as Mr. Thomas Franco saying that the RBI is well within its rights and powers to be taking a decision which is not necessarily drastic, a decision that has been taken in the past as well, which would help depositors immediately, and having another bank take over to help you immediately, and yet that decision is not being taken.
Then there has to be an agenda behind this, that they are not working on it, and false assurances are coming in. Like yesterday, we were at RBI the whole day, and at the end of it, what we were told is, we cannot do anything much, and unless the, the higher authorities and the government, introduces something or instructs us, or this was something that was said yesterday. What was mentioned is we don't have that much of power, but now what our banker friend has said, it means they have all the power in the world to do it. And they, they are not basically not willing to do it. So
right.
Six people have died. I don't know how many more deaths are they waiting for.
Let's also get in a word here from our correspondent Apeksha, who's been in touch with several more depositors such as you as well. Apeksha, given the fact that each respective authority here is only playing musical chairs and passing the buck on who's responsible, who's in charge to be taking this decision, is there an association of depositors or a group of depositors now who would think of taking this to court?
Well, Sahar, there are several groups of depositors, not just in fact Mumbai-based, but some of them also in Delhi, because this is a multi-state issue now. So there are talks of taking this to the court. But if we speak about the immediate relief, Sahar, because even that is quite a long process, and it involves a lot of money, manpower, and also you need experts to do that. So right now, the need of the hour right now is that the fact that they are gripped with the uncertainty, the anxiety, the fear of whether they will get back their money or not. In fact, we've also seen about how senior citizens do not have, Sir, I'd like to mention here, the withdrawal limit, which started off from 10,000 rupees, was slowly and steadily pushed to 40,000 rupees, but that is once in 6 months. And we all know how difficult it is to live in a city like Mumbai. And considering that most of the senior citizens are dependent for their life on medicines, and the people we spoke to tell us that they have heart problems, they have dialysis to take care of, and several other health problems, and they need at least 20 to 25,000 per month only to survive, only to live. So in such a circumstances, what they ask is that if at least the withdrawal
this barely
limit
works out to be 220
to,
rupees per day. Right.
Absolutely. So if that withdrawal
Mr. Thomas
limit
Franco, this is a question of asking someone to survive in today's in today's time at a rate of 220 rupees per day. How will, in your view, going to court for any depositor who has the time and energy at this point of time, going to court help? That would at least establish which authorities to take a call on this. All right, we seem to have lost that line. Let's also get in Harsh Rungta with us, financial expert with us over the phone line. Mr. Rungta, thank you for being with us. In your view, should depositors be going to court? Because This is not a case of depositors not understanding who is in charge. But if you have the court take this up, look into the details, and then at least fix the responsibility on that one authority which is in charge of taking a call to the benefit of the depositors.
I'm afraid that courts in India are not...
Mr. Harsh Rungta, is my voice...
Hello? Hello?
Yes, please go ahead.
So courts in India, unfortunately, are not really known for any speed in the matter. And therefore, whilst courts obviously remain a last resort option, clearly, I don't think the depositors can depend on the court to get any quick money or even money in any appreciable time frame. Forget about quick. In any...
No, but have we not reached the last resort scenario today? There is no authority willing to provide a quick fix. Have they not reached that point of a last resort?
I think that there should be more pressure that should be put basically for the Reserve Bank of India to provide more details. I mean, it's been more than a month and we still don't know the size. We have no idea what is it.
That's right. And what is this pressure that can be put by ordinary citizens who are running from pillar to post? Mr. Karan, please respond to that. Insofar, the meetings that have at least taken place with the Reserve Bank of India, with the RBI officials, it has not been a case of the RBI reaching out to you. It has been a case of you desperately going there, knocking at the doors, getting an appointment, and then having a word with the RBI. Do you think going to court today is going to help?
As we said, going to court is our last resort. Okay, but we don't want to jump into it because, if, that is going to take quite a while for the court cases to start, for the dates to come in. Nobody's going to give us a fast-track hearing because we've seen the support that we are getting from the government right now. We have no support. So, if we have no support for our own money right now, for us to get a fast-track hearing, we really don't, we're totally confused. So that is why we are just on the road trying. Hello? That is how we are still on the road, just hoping that some pressure would go somewhere, to the authority, and they will finally do something.
Right, and there are no assurances so far of immediate return of your savings, of your money there. We have another depositor, Ms. Sadika, with us on the phone line. Thank you for being with us. In your view, what is it that is going to push the authorities to take a call, to take a decision that works in your favor?
Honestly, if we knew the answer to that, our lives would have been much more simpler. The only thing that we see is that going out there in front of the RBI, in front of the CM's house and pleading them to give us our own money back. And that's what we've been doing. We've been doing it for 40 days now. We've been running from pillar to post for 40 days now. And we yet have no assurance from anybody, be it the RBI or be it the government. Even yesterday, when a set of representatives met with the RBI, there was no assurance given to us. So honestly, at this point of time, we don't know where to go and where to beg for our own money. We've become rich beggars today. We have the money, but we cannot access it. And there are so many families that don't have time. They cannot wait because their daily livelihood depends on this bank. So in that case, what do? How can you tell them to wait for 6 to 8 months just to figure out a way? Even then, there is no assurance that a way will be figured out in 6 months.
Right, so and each respective authority is still figuring out the way. Remember, there is an understanding between depositors, banking experts, that this is in the hands of the RBI, this is in the hands of the Finance Ministry, and yet they're not taking a final decision on this. 38 days still thinking what to do next. How much more time will depositors wait for? This is inhuman. It has led to 6 deaths that depositors are directly connecting to this crisis. Someone in the government needs to speak out for them. Thank you for being with us.